In addition, of course, it gives us access to a potential patient population of around 6 million in the metropolitan Berlin area. So for us, it does create new markets as well as giving us new cross-selling opportunities.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by hVIVO CEO Mo Khan. Mo, very good to speak with you. Could you give us a quick overview of today's announcements and what CRS Berlin brings to hVIVO?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on your call. Your CRS Berlin is a phase 1, phase 2 clinical trial unit based in Berlin with a long, deep depth experience in clinical research, having done more than 300 clinical trials to date. They specialize in dermatology and in women's health therapeutic area especially, and they've got a strong track record of working with biotechs as well as mid-sized pharmaceutical companies. They also bring in 10 million euros worth of order book, and we expect them to be earnings accretive for full year 2026. It is a natural extension to the end-to-end platform that we are developing here for early drug development.
What's attractive about the dermatology and women's health markets?
Both of the therapeutic areas are large and growing areas. They also fit in our strategy to increase early clinical research in primary care indications, and both dermatology and women's health have numerous indications in the primary care area. We know dermatology has been on the up, and we are already working in areas such as atopic dermatitis and other related areas. But for me, the really interesting part is the women's health. Now, women have generally been underrepresented in early clinical research. In fact, some data suggests that for phase 1 trials, around a fifth of the participants are female. So this is an area that we think will grow in the future. We do need more females to participate in clinical research. And also with the additional expertise in gynecology and other related areas, I think Berlin would add a huge focus in this area. So for us, it's a great complementary business to the cardiometabolic, respiratory, and ID space we are already in. It's at the stage of development in phase 1 and phase 2, and we're just increasing our target market by adding 2 new key therapeutic areas to ourselves.
How does the acquisition enhance your early clinical services platform?
So we've always said that for any acquisition that we perform, that they need to really be complementary to what we are already doing. So the fact that we are already in early drug development clinical stages, especially in phase 1 and phase 2, this adds to that platform. It expands our German capabilities, also gives us additional capacity to run larger phase 2 trials with the addition of new beds to under our platform. In addition, of course, it gives us access to a potential patient population of around 6 million in the metropolitan Berlin area. So for us, it does create new markets as well as giving us new cross-selling opportunities.
And the integration process, what does that look like?
Well, actually, that's the, let's say, easy part in a way, because we are already in a certain level already integrated with Berlin, because we have been working with them as a close partner since we acquired the CRS Kiel and the CRS Mannheim unit. So when it comes to a lot of the systems and processes, they are almost already integrated. So we already share, for example, patient recruitment services, back office, project management, and other operational teams. So that makes the integration process much easier, much faster, and much smoother. And the key focus is going to be, how do we cross-sell to Berlin's customers, and how do we expand and bring Berlin into the bigger group from a commercial sense?
Can you talk us through the deal structure, nominal upfront consideration, and a revenue-based earnout? Why was this the right approach?
We have previously stated that we will take a fairly conservative outlook on M&A. We want to grow organically as well as through M&A, but we also want to keep the strength of our balance sheet. So this deal is, from a financial point of view, very lucrative in the sense that there is a nominal upfront fee, and the remainder of the consideration is linked to a 3-year earnout period, which basically means that we will need to add value before the sellers can get their cash. So it does bring us additional comfort in the fact that the earn-out is related to revenue, and it is triggered upon hitting a minimal target. So that for us, we believe is a really good deal. So maintaining a really strong balance sheet, but also adding capacity and growth to the business.
What will CRS Berlin contribute financially in full year 26, and how much visibility does their order book give you?
Yeah, so they will be earnings accretive for a full year 2026. They are generating good revenue. They're a profitable company. They have an order book of just under 10 million euros, which basically is contracting for most of this year and well into 2027. So that is a really good place to start. But of course, we want to build on that and acquire bigger projects, bigger contracts, especially in the phase 2 stage, both as clinical site work as well as the CRO work. So I think we're well positioned for further growth.
Well, I hope you'll keep us updated on progress with that transaction. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
That's Mo Khan, the CEO of hVIVO.